What is up guys, Jack Gardner here, and today I'm delighted to be showing you the brand new Archetype beer. For those of you who are not familiar with Rabea, he is an amazing guitar player and such a lovely dude. I think he's one of them. I like to consider him a bit of a chameleon. He's got a great taste for tone. He can play all of the heavy stuff, which this plugin certainly can do, but he's got a really cool touch in his phrasing for more cleaner sounds and low gain sounds, and then the outright craziness with fuzzes and things like that. So I'm super happy to see that Neural have worked in collaboration with Rabea for this one. First of all, I'm just going to walk you through the plugin format itself. I hope you enjoyed that track at the beginning there. Before I forget, a massive shout out to Wayne for help with the production. If you've not checked out our new release, Guardian Spirits of the Quantum Multiverse, then please make sure you do straight after this video. But anyway, here is the interface itself. If you're familiar with Neural products, you'll know this straight away. At the top, we have like the amp section. You have the pedals in front. You have here, this is something new, and this is what I believe makes this plugin really stand out. This is the Arpeggiator, or the synth, I should say. It's got an Arpeggiator built in, the Overlord synth. And this tracks so well for a person like me who doesn't really play keys. This enables me to demo some of those synth sounds just with guitar. It's such a life changer, and it's so good for your creativity, I've found anyway. So this is brand new. We'll take a look at that in a second. Right at the end then, you have the time-based effects like reverb and delay. You have an EQ. I believe this one is similar to the Archetype Petrucci, where you can control 4 different areas of the frequency spectrum, I guess, here. And here we have the cabinet section. So, you have the typical mics there, 57, ribbon 121, but you can change all of these. You could just use 1 if you'd like, or 2, but I'm sure if you're familiar with the Neural plugins, you'll know this already. One thing that was new in the Archetype Petrucci is this doubler, and that essentially gives you like a stereo spread. It's really cool for practicing, and it also gives you an idea of how things might sound if you were to, double track them. We have the MIDI controls down here. We've got a tuner, and there is also a metronome built into this one. But first of all, I just want to give you the sound of this default preset. I think this is great. This is the Crunch amp, and yeah, I mean, what a great tone to start off with. Graphics are lovely, by the way. Shout out to Neural, they always nail that. But let's hear what it sounds like. Really pretty, straight out of the bat. This is a gorgeous tone. Now, in terms of these amps then, those of you who have used Neural stuff might be familiar with this idea that you often have multiple ones, especially in the archetypes. So we have a clean amp on the left, we have the crunch amp, they've called this, and then they've called this the lead amp. All amazing graphics, I must point out again. But I would say for me personally, I really enjoyed this as the main amp. This is the crunch amp. Some things that are maybe new in this plugin, you have like a mid-shape option here and then a high-end option. That's the same on the clean amp. You can see it over here, and that just cuts or boosts certain frequencies in the mid-range. And I believe on this one as well, so on the lead amp and on the crunch amp, we have the option of changing the valves. So you have like the EL34s or the 6L6s there. I think, no, it's not the same on the clean. That's the only one that doesn't have that valve option. But yeah, I mean, this is a great sound. Most of the Neural stuff is. It just usually sounds great straight out of the box. What I want to do today is show you some of my presets. So first one we're going to take a look at here, I've called this Crazy Arpeggio. and this is using the synth pedal right at the front. So with the arpeggiator engaged, basically you have multiple options here. You can choose which notes of the scale, you can choose which key, whether it moves up or down via this menu over here. And then you can sync it to your tempo. So I believe this is just straight at 120. And then you have the option of how quick this is. But I mean, let's just check this out. I think it sounds wicked. Huh. Really, really cool, and it's tracking really well as well. If I turn off the arpeggiator, for example, there, check out this. Really, really cool. That's picking up all of those notes with legato. You just have to be careful with your muting, otherwise sometimes you can get some pops, you know, as you hit like a dead string. But you can change the shape of these synth waveforms and stuff like that. So, I mean, on oscillator 1 over here now, this sounds way different. If I change that over on oscillator 2 to something different. You can add a filter, check out this. And that is tracking exceptionally well, even if I play some fast stuff with tapping. Really, really cool. I've been having so much fun with this. I'm sure you can hear it at the beginning of the video in the track. Check out some more. One thing which I always find with plugins like this or synth emulators is that often like vibrato can really freak it out, but Neural have nailed this algorithm whereby it's actually picking up that as if it's like a pitch bend on a keyboard. Really, really impressive. Some final bits of play in there because I love it that much. Really, really cool. I've loved that. It just helps you get way more creative when it comes to composing. At least that's what I find. So let's move on to another preset then. This one I've called Filthy Saw OctaFuzz. Let's check out this. Really fun to play with again. And what's going on there is I have used the octave pedal over here set to vintage mode, and I've got the octave up and octave down, and I am using fuzz. Now fuzz, I believe, is really difficult to kind of emulate. I think the guys were talking about that when they were building the quad Cortex, but this feels amazing. I mean, if I turn the octaver off, this is where it sounds like just the fuzz itself. Sounds really like an old school fuzz. The second you add that octaver on, I mean, that is just pure filth. Absolute beast to play with. So yeah, that is Filthy Saw OctaFuzz, I've called that one. Let's check out another one here. So this one I have called Layer Your Chords. This is using the delay. I've got the overdrive in front of the crunch amp, I believe. But what I've done is turn up the icicle and turned up the feedback. So you essentially get this huge kind of, it never ends delay. But if you layer some chords, it can sound really nice as a texture in your compositions, you know. So let's check out this. I absolutely love that. I think it's beautiful for those kind of atmospheric sounds, you know. I've just turned that off, otherwise it will go forever. Check out this. Oh no, it's gone now, sorry. But before, when I was doing that, it was never stopping. So another one here, I've called this Final Fantasy Arpeggio. Those of you who played Final Fantasy VII will know this. It's not quite the same because we can't get that exact rhythm. But I mean, if I play in C major, essentially the Final Fantasy thing is like 1, 2, 3, 5. It's a melodic fragment. So check out this. Really, really cool. And I must point out again, even when you slide, sometimes you'll hear a pop if you accidentally hit string noise, you know, with the sync. But for writing, that is genius. I've had so much fun with the Arpeggiator and the synth in general, really. So moving on to another preset then. Let's check out this one. So this is Synth Intro Arpeggio. This was the one which you heard in the track at the beginning, right at the start of it. So there you can see, like, because I've not got the metronome on, it's hard to see where I should hit, but to sync up with that. But I mean, it's tracking exceptionally well, even if you slide. Really, really cool. And of course, you can add delays and all sorts of that reverb just to give you some different ideas. Now, moving on to something that's a bit more normal then, let's hear this. So this I've just called low gain lead. I'm mainly a low gain player, so this was kind of perfect for me. And again, it's that crunch amp with a bit of reverb and delay, I believe. And then maybe I EQ'd some of the high mids out of there. So yeah, let's check out this anyway. Lovely and warm, really dynamic too as well. If you roll down the volume, that is something which I love about Neural, is that you do get a different response and it doesn't feel weird. Some modelers can feel just not right. This feels okay, so full volume. Roll that down a little bit. A little bit more. So that's like almost clean. It's cleaning up really, really well. So moving on then, I think this is the last preset. I've called this Practice with Freeze. So essentially with this, what I've done, it's a very similar kind of lead sound. I don't know if I've done anything different. There's an overdrive in front this time. And it's the delay and reverb, but what I want to do is actually freeze a pitch. So I've got a bit of a drone going, and that enables me to kind of play over the top, you know, explore some sounds. I've essentially set like the pitch of this freezed note up an octave. So, I mean, let's give this a go. Hopefully this works. But if I just hit like this note G, and that pretty much sums it up. I mean, I love to practice with that kind of drone going on. I can try out different ideas, different scales, different sounds. Really, really cool tool. So, like I say, this one for me is probably my absolute favorite for creativity. I think you won't be disappointed with the sounds of the amps. They are all great. I mean, just to quickly show you the clean, just the default sound, you get this. Just remembered I left the overdrive on, but it'll be very similar. I wasn't using much gain. And then we've got the lead amp, this one over here. Let's try this. I think I got a bit carried away there. It's really fun to play with, super easy. But yeah, you get the idea. I mean, there's a little bit of noise, so you might want to turn the gate up there. That's just because I'm using single coils. But yeah, what a great plugin. Congrats again to Rabea and congrats again to Neural for such an epic tool. What do you guys think of the tones? Don't forget you can probably get these presets as built in. So if you do like a 14-day free trial, which Neural offer, then you'll see my presets under my name. Did you enjoy the track at the beginning? Let me know your thoughts down below. As always, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. It just helps the channel grow. My name is Jack Gardner. Hope you enjoyed this one. Till next time, guys. Cheers.